told my brother I'm gonna get grabbed in by this draft. And sure enough, I'm the first number in my town.
In upstate New York, a soft-spoken farm boy named Archie Sweeney has just been drafted.
Things are already hard enough at home, especially since Mama died. She made us promise we would stick together, and we told her we would.
Sweeney is on his way to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. He has never been outside of New York State before, or on a train.
Hopefully all this will blow over soon, and I can get back home.
After several failed attempts, Austrian immigrant Jack Werner abandons his dream of breaking into the movie business. Instead, he takes a job in a flower shop.
One day, out of nowhere, I run into Ralph Lieben, a friend of mine I hadn't seen in years. Ralph's an American I met in Paris after I escaped Austria. He sort of took me under his wing. Helped me with my English. But that was a long time ago. Ralph tells me the latest news from Europe. It's hard to imagine. Now those filthy Nazis are parading around like they own the place. The more Alf and I talk about the Germans, the angrier I get. Somebody needs to stop them before they take over the entire world. That's when I realized it's time to stop talking and start doing something about it. Taking actions instead of words. I mean, we have been living with that for years and years. You have to understand that my life and his life were really almost completely obsessed with Hitler and what Hitler was going to do and the state of the world. And we decided that, it's about time to stop talking and doing something. That's when we took the critical action of going down to Fort MacArthur in San Pedro and enlisting in the army.
The military Archie Sweeney and Jack Werner join has only just begun to build up its arsenal. 2 years ago, the United States had the 17th largest army in the world, smaller than tiny Romania's. And almost 2/3 of American recruits have never fired a rifle. At Fort Ord in Monterey Bay, California, Jack Werner begins his basic training with the 7th Army Infantry. It is a sobering, even frightening experience.
It is shocking how unprepared we are, how naive everyone is, parading around with Springfield rifles and World War I steel helmets. How can they expect in the 20th century to fight a war against a well-equipped enemy with this kind of gear? Do they think we can fight Hitler's panzers on horseback? They have no idea.
By the spring of 1941, Hitler is the unchallenged master of most of continental Europe. His fighting forces have brought 11 countries and over 70 million people under the Nazi flag. In nearly every conquered country, Hitler's troops from the Nazi Party's Waffen-SS and the regular German army carry out a policy of oppression and mass murder. In a small Yugoslavian town, German cameraman Gottfried Kessel is filming when German soldiers select 36 Serbians from the population and lead them to a nearby cemetery. The previous night, unknown gunmen had fired on some German officers from this very spot. The Germans are sending a grim message to any Serbians thinking about resisting. By the summer of 1941, Hitler is ready to launch his forces further east. In June, his armies invade the Soviet Union. By September, they have captured over 1.4 million Soviet troops. 1 month later, American government agents intercept a secret Nazi map. It outlines Hitler's plan to reorganize South America after he conquers it. In November, Germany, Japan, and Italy renew their military alliance. All agreed to safeguard their common interests. The Axis powers are ready to carve up the world.